How many of us in here are parents? Okay. So how sure are you that your children will grow up to become successful adults with happy families? How many are sure that you won't raise low life serial killers with detachment from emotions?
I don't know.
Okay, well, parents and future parents should be aware of the importance to the lifestyles that you live and like the things that your children are exposed to. Honestly, I believe from like birth on up, it's really important to just take heed to like what your child experiences, the way you talk to them, the way you treat them, basically your type of parenting style. Your parenting skills have a large contribution to your child's personality and adulthood. There are several different parenting styles that each psychologically can affect your child in different ways. There are facts and statistics that show how someone's childhood could lead to like certain habits and daily activities as they grow into adults. Even though we know all kids don't come with like how-to manuals or like instruction manuals on how to raise them, but there is help out there if you do need assistance. But first, I want to go into the different parenting styles and how they can affect your child and your child's adulthood. So the first one is authoritative parenting. This is usually like the most beneficial. Most parents with this parenting style have structure for like daily activities with their children. They give consequences when daily activities are disrupted, not like abuse or like beating them or anything, but they basically have some kind of structure, and they communicate well with the children. They show affection, and they give children like the opportunity to voice their own opinions. Not too free of choices, but they do give them opportunity to voice their own opinions, and they try to use psychologically. They try to parent and like guide children to do the right thing instead of like just straight punishment or like straight whooping or something like that. And actually, children with parents, children who grow up in households with authoritative parenting usually grow up to be like have good grades in school. They socially are comfortable with their peers and people that's older than them. They ultimately make the right decisions as far as like real life choices. They usually aren't on like drugs or anything like that. So I think that is one of the most effective and beneficial parenting styles. The second one is neglectful parenting. Now, neglectful parenting is someone who ignores their child's emotion, physical needs, have no understanding for what's going on in their child's life. Basically, no space provided for the child to have choices of their own. It's like, you do what I say or that's it. And a lot of times, neglectful parents they tend to be away from their children a lot, and they don't like have excuses for it, like, oh, I was out partying, or I was working, or something like that. So basically, children who grow up in that type of household can grow up to be detached from emotions. Like, I don't know if anybody in here took psychology when we talked about detachment from emotion. Like, for example, we could be in the parking lot and somebody could get ran over by a car, and we'd all be like, oh my gosh, and somebody detached and be like, so we should have got off the street. Like, kind of like a, cruel mentality. They ultimately, with each parenting style, however a child is raised, it'll roll over into their parenting style as far as like when they have children. And permissive parenting. Permissive parenting is one of the parenting styles that I see a lot today. Basically, permissive parenting, they have no rules set for their children. It's like a free-for-all. It's kind of like the kid parents the parent. basically. There's no repercussions or consequences for bad behavior, disrespect, and a lot of times children that grow up in permissive households, they often grow up to like lash out against authority because they never had anybody say, hey, this is how you do it. So they clash a lot with like teachers in school. And they ultimately, when they get to teenage years and you're like, okay, well, these are the rules, and you try to lay it down, studies have even shown that they sometimes will, like, as a form of accepting like the punishment, they'll behave badly and like be on drugs or be like sexually promiscuous, ultimately showing a sign of no guidance. And the last one is authoritarian parenting. And it's also, of course, like the strictest form of parenting. Children who grow up in this household have no say-so. They have there's no room for error. If mom or dad says jump, you better jump as soon as they do it. They ultimately grow up in abusive households. Authoritarian parents are very abusive. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's just either that or punishment. And a lot of times children who grow up that, ultimately they grow up with like low self-esteem. They don't know how to feel about themselves. And they socially kind of like close themselves away from everybody. They don't know really what to expect from like their peers and everything else. So it's kind of important to try to identify with your own type of parenting style. And oh no, I'm sorry. But ultimately, there are ways. If you are someone who would be like interested in kind of like improving your skills, or maybe getting some tips on how to be a good parent, or if you see something like in your neighborhood, or someone who's like an abusive parent or a neglectful parent, there are different resources available, like family counseling, child protective services that have like classes and things available to help with parenting skills. And more importantly, I think a lot of times adults have the idea that anything seen or heard during a child's life is often forgotten by the time that they reach adulthood, unaware of the power in a child's mind to soak up experiences and subconsciously act them out. It's obvious that children are our future, and if we don't cherish and value and positively mold their lives and to prepare them for adulthood, then what kind of teachers and policemen and doctors or presidents could we have within the next 30 to 50 years?